Hi there, let's write a song. Lately I've been listening to all kinds of music, Sleep Token, Architects, Bilmuri, Spirit Box, etc. And it's inspired me to sit down in the studio and just start pumping out songs one after the other. So I thought it'd be fun if I could take you guys along for the ride with me. So I thought of an idea that kind of reminded me of Architects, but I play in drop D. And since Architects tune's way lower than that, and I don't have a guitar set up for those kinds of tunings, I had to improvise. So I thought maybe an Architects style riff, but with a Bilmuri kind of tone, it might sound pretty cool. Here's the riff that I have for you today. With that riff idea, I'm looking to make an intro, verse, chorus, and probably call it a day. If it comes out cool, we might just make a part 2 and see what comes of it. The first thing that I do when I come up with a riff is I lay down a scratch track. Now, for a riff like this that kind of dances around the fretboard a little bit, it can be a little difficult to be able to record it to just a click track. So I went ahead and tossed in a really simple drum pattern that will change eventually, but it'll be something that I can track to. It sounds like this. Again, not going to be the final drum part, but it's a lot easier to track to than just a metronome. The first layer in my guitar tone is the Tim Henson plugin by Neural DSP. It sounds something like this. It's pretty twangy, has a lot of high end to it, but it's balanced out with the second tone, which is a pitch shifted tone that I made in Nolly X. It sounds like this. And together, you get something that sounds like this. So I'm hoping to be able to balance the pitch shifted tone to be able to make the Architects riff sound kind of like Architects, but maybe with kind of a different spin on it that could be cool. And now I'm going to attempt to quad track this riff. Let's see how it goes. First take is doable for a scratch track. Maybe this will go fast today. Let's see what the damage is. Not too bad. Now we're going to lay down the low guitars. Didn't have that. Oh, we hit our first snag. Nope. Ugh. Close enough. Get down the other side. For just the intro, I think I'm just going to do one repetition of this riff, and then we're going to get right into the first verse. When I'm scratch tracking and stuff like that, I'm not worried about if I have any clicks or pops or anything. I'm just trying to keep things as simple and as fast as possible. I'll record right from this spot, see what comes out. For this part, I was thinking that it would be cool to have kind of a long, drawn-out breakdown-ish sort of a spot that would allow a lot of room for little production elements, vocals, etc. Something simple just like this. I'm going to track it and I'm going to see if something cool comes out, and I'll see you on the other side. Oh, what if I harmonized that? Every metalcore kid from the mid-2000s asks that question. What if I harmonize it? It'll sound better. I'm here for it. Now we can do the low ones. I never get tired of that. Harmonize the other low one. Nope. Slop, 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 slop. Alright, let's finish up the drums to the intro, so then we can get the drums to the verse, and then we can figure out how we're going to get into the chorus. I really like the groove on the 2 and the 4. I think we just have to mix some stuff up on the kick. Ooh, what if I threw the snare over here? Throwing a little accent over here. Now I'm probably going to fast forward through a lot of the drum writing process, but please just keep in mind that your drummers only have 4 limbs. Okay, they cannot hit more than 4 things at one time. Also, they only have 2 arms, so they can't hit a snare, a tom, and a cymbal. It doesn't work like that. 2 arms, 2 feet. This is another spot that I'm talking about that you have to think about what your drummer's arms can actually do. So we have a really quick little roll right here. And if I wasn't paying attention, notice that they do this really quick, and then I have them hitting 2 crashes right after that. That's not gonna happen, okay? They're not gonna go, it's too much, okay? So, we're gonna get rid of one of those crashes and have them end on the... There we go. So we got rid of one of the crashes, so now we have the fill to where the drummer can finish the fill and start the next bar without growing an extra arm. I think we have the drum part ironed out for the first part of it. Sounds like this. So I'm thinking since we are kind of riding that 2 and 4 in the intro, that we can slow that down to just really be landing on the 3s or just go complete halftime. Let's see what it sounds like. So we got... Yeah, we're just going to go complete halftime, I think. A lot of times I like to write in the kicks first to just kind of establish the whole groove, and then I can put everything else around it. Ooh, missed that. There we go. Cool. Let's go China on this part. Found ya. Alright, let's see what we got here. Whoop. So I think we got the drum part for the verse now. We just need to do the good old-fashioned copy-paste, and we can have a full verse. I think for the pre-chorus, we're gonna have kind of a clear out, maybe do some pads, some kind of spacey stuff. Leave room for a little vocal tag or something. I think I'm just gonna start it with a... and slide right back into the intro riff. Don't play like garbage. Now I'm just going to copy paste that intro riff over here a couple times, I think. Some toms going in here. So I think that'll allow for a little bit of space for some sort of vocal tag and some pads. We'll see what we come up with later. Also, I don't know any drummer that stomps on their hi-hat pedal at 113. Let's get those down. I think we have our foundation here for our little intro, verse, chorus. I think it's time to lay down some bass. Now, please do not tell anybody at NeuroDSP, but I have actually been going back to the Bassforge for bass from JST. I just love the clank on this thing. Could probably use some more clank, I think. Okay, so this riff is probably going to be pretty tough to play the same thing on the bass as I do on the guitar, so I'm just going to jam it real quick and see if I can think of something that fits the bass a little better. Let's toss this on a loop, and we will see what happens. Okay. difficult than I thought. Alright, we might have to comp some of this in there, but we're gonna get it down. If anybody ever plays bass on this, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting the pickup. Instead, I keep going instead of... You know, I don't think you can hear anything that I messed up in there, so we'll call that a win. Let's see what I want to do on the bass here. Yeah, I like that part. I just have to play it good. I'm not tracking well today. Alright, let's get that balance to an appropriate level. Let's see here. So really all I'm doing mixing-wise whenever I'm in a writing session like this is just EQ and compression. I just need to be able to hear everything that's going on. I don't care if it sounds its absolute best. I don't care if it honestly doesn't sound great at all. I just need to be able to hear everything that's going on. And really what I've been finding more and more lately is if you get the tones right at the start, there's relatively little mixing you have to do. I mean, in my opinion, this mix is already sounding decent, and it's just going through a compressor and a limiter to bring up the volume so it sounds more like a full mix. But I mean... And there's some kind of wonkiness with the bass in there on some overtones that I could hunt down eventually, but again, this is a writing session. We're here to create, not to fix. What do we think we need? This first riff is very busy. Things are kind of flying all over the place, so we could add some elements that stay a little bit more linear. They're a little smoother, have more of a tail to them. And then when we go over to the verse, there's a lot more space. We could maybe do something that has a little bit more of a rhythmic element to it. So you kind of just get this sense of motion from part to part to part. There are plenty of people that know all types of stuff about pads, synths, strings, etc. that would probably be able to do exactly what I'm talking about in the production process, right? They'll go in, they know exactly the pad that they want, they know exactly the type of modulation they want on it, and they'll be able to plug it in. However, I'm a guitar player, so I'm going to create with a guitar. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't eventually go back in and replace something I did on the guitar with a synth or a pad, etc. But this is about creating, not about finishing. So I'm going to get the thing I'm best at and try to create with that. I am going to get a lead channel set up. Kind of like that, just a little octave to layer over it. I'm a metalcore kid, so I am going to see what that sounds like harmonized. Maybe lower. You know, actually, for once, I don't think it sounds better harmonized. I'm gonna put more reverb, and I just love the shimmer on the Tim Henson. It's just so pretty. Let's cut some of that off, get more. It's still sounding a little harsh to me. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. I said I'm not doing too much crazy stuff on the mixing side, but if you'll notice, look what happens to the EQ around 200 right here. See that spike up like that? I'm gonna go ahead and kill that because that will drive me crazy to listen to. Let's hear it. Now, I said earlier I thought something kind of rhythmic would be good in this verse right here, so I'm thinking kind of a clean tone with a delay. So I do kind of one of those cheat double picking things where we pretend like we're a lot better at picking than we are. Actually, yeah, just kind of like that. All right, so let's bring back the feedback. Okay. Another thing I like to do is I always like to make my delays darker than the source, because if you leave it just as bright or you make something that's even brighter, it can really start to cloud the high end of your mix. I used to always wonder why like my cymbals would sound harsh or why my vocals would sound harsh, and what I found out is I was not EQing my delays and my reverbs. So I had all this shrilly shimmering stuff going on everywhere, and it made everything sound awful. EQ your delays and EQ your reverbs. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's pick some chords. Kind of like that. Let's see how that sounds in context. Very, very pokey. Let's toss on a little compressor. Sounds a little wompy to me, so let me kill a bunch of low end. I'm gonna throw on that shimmer from the Tim Henson, maybe a chorus. Okay, and maybe the delay on there too. They can do some kind of cool stuff with a ping pong and diffusion. Way too much low end going on here. And I think I might try a different amp actually, because this one's just not quite doing it for me. Let's see what this one sounds like. Thinking it needs to be even wetter on the reverb, have a longer decay. All right, I think I'm gonna lay down the lead for the chorus, and then I think we're gonna wrap this up today. Alrighty, so again, the goal today was just to get an idea out, right? Get an intro, verse, chorus, and then see if it's something that I'll want to pick up later. I might bounce it to my phone, listen to it in the car, see if some melodies come along that I think would be cool or catchy. I might get an idea on how to change up the second verse, or maybe I don't end up loving the layers that I have on there, so I'll get something else. Really, I guess we'll just have to see. So I'm going to toss on a mastering chain. We're going to listen through the whole thing together. Y'all let me know. Do you think this is something that is worth pursuing? Do you think I should finish it out? Record some vocals on the thing? Whatever, really. I definitely think we have something here. I think it's a cool riff, and I think it has a good little vibe to it. I need to marinate on it a little bit and see if any fresh inspiration comes to mind that might make this thing a banger. Let's take a listen to it. Let me know what you think. I'll catch you in the next one. Sweet. Bye.